In this episode of At Home with Music, we're going to be talking about minor scales. And they're going to be a little bit more complex, a little bit different than major scales because there are three kinds of minor scales. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. All right, let's talk about the minor scales. The minor scale is the scale that sounds negative. It's used by composers to depict sad, melancholic, or even angry or dramatic moods. However, there are, in fact, three minor scales that you're going to come across and that you can use when you're playing music. The first one that we're going to look at is the natural minor scale. The second one, the harmonic minor scale. And the third one is the melodic minor scale. So each scale sounds minor-like, or some people might say they sound sad, but they each have their own unique sound, their unique flavor. So let's look at each minor scale in turn. The first one we're going to look at is the natural minor scale, and that's the most basic form of the minor scale. And like all scales, it follows a set pattern of intervals. You remember how we constructed major scales by using a series of whole steps and half steps. We're also going to do this with the three types of minor scales. So for the natural minor scale, we're going to start here on A. We're going to go whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So it'll sound like this. Now I want you to notice something about the A minor natural minor scale. When I start on A, it's all the white keys. Now you remember in the major scales, the C major scale is also played all on white keys. And the key signature for C major is, of course, no sharps, no flats. The key signature for A minor, for the A minor scale, is also no sharps, no flats. So A minor is the relative minor to C major. Every major scale has a relative minor. And so A minor is the relative minor to C major. A natural minor can be played all white keys. Now let's take a look at the harmonic minor scale. It has a slightly more, some might say, intense feel to it because the seventh note is raised a half step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to take that seventh note and raise it. So the intervals we use to construct the harmonic minor scale are whole step, half step, whole step, half step, and now here we go a step and a half. And then half step. So it sounds like this. It's this interval here that kind of gives it that exotic sound. Now, if you're writing a song in A minor and you're using the harmonic minor scale, you're still not going to have any sharps or flats in the key signature, but you're going to have to draw a sharp in front of the G if you use that note. G sharp and then A. So that's the harmonic minor scale. Now, the melodic minor scale, this is a tricky one because the pattern for going up the scale is different than the one coming down. So you remember in natural minor, same notes going up as going down. It's the same thing with the harmonic minor. But in the melodic minor, it's a little bit different. So the melodic minor descending scale you're going to find out is the same as natural minor. And I'll explain this here as we go along. So here are the steps we need to construct a melodic minor scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And so to get this to sound like the melodic minor, we have to raise both the 6th and the 7th note. But coming down, we let them go back to natural. So if you play the melodic minor scale going up and down, it sounds like this. So even though, once again, if you're writing in A minor, you use the melodic minor scale, you still have to write F sharp and G sharp if you're going up. But if you're going down, it's G and F, natural. So you may have to review this a few times, but by this time you should understand the 3 different minor scales. So your homework, if you like, is to play the minor scales on your piano or keyboard and get used to the way they sound and the way they feel under your fingers. Now, we've only tackled one minor scale. Let's say, for example, we want to do D minor. So D minor, natural minor would be whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Now you'll notice something here. I had to use one black key, and it happens to be the same one that you would use if you were playing the F major scale. It's all white keys except for that B flat. So D minor is the relative minor of F major. It uses the same key signature. That's the natural minor. The harmonic minor would have that raised 7th. And then the melodic minor would have the 6th and 7th note raised. And then they would go natural on the way down. Whoops. There we go. I have a hard time talking and playing at the same time. Let me do that one more time. There we go. Okay. Thanks for listening and watching. And if you have any questions about this, it's important that you master this before we move on to building chords on the minor scale. That's going to be even a little bit more complicated. So be ready for that. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. You can also contact me directly through my website at homewithmusic.com. There's a contact me or contact us form there, and that'll get you on our mailing list, and you can ask me any questions you have, and I will definitely get back to you. Thanks again for watching.